Have you ever felt like your energy level was drained to empty? Or like you're so tired and exhausted that you feel like you have nothing else to give? Well, you're not alone. The reality is that most of us have this feeling either daily, weekly, or monthly. The last few months for us have been absolutely incredible, and we've had so much fun sharing this journey with you in our weekly episodes. But with all that level of activity comes the responsibility of ensuring that we don't suffer burnout and get too exhausted along this journey. In fact, most of our adult life was spent feeling like that until we discovered an amazing tool to help treat our souls to true rest and replenishment. As we found our way from Texas to Florida, and especially after what we went through in the snow, we knew that we needed to use this tool as we started to feel very tired and exhausted. So what's the tool? Very simply, we call it our replenishment cycle. It's centered around the fact that managing our energy instead of our time is a primary driver for us to be fully engaged, present, productive, and creative in all areas of our life. And we saw this as a perfect opportunity to use our weekly episode to show you how we apply this in our life.
The replenishment cycle is broken down into 4 categories, which are abbreviated as PIEs: physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. The whole goal is to remind ourselves that we need a set of activities that we do intentionally and on a regular basis to ensure that we don't run out of personal energy. Let's go through these one at a time and look at how we applied them this past week in our life. Physical replenishment is something that can be related to health and wellness or passion and hobbies. For Sean and I, that includes being outside and being active. We love going for long walks with Nash, working out, and spending time with friends either at the beach or boating. Intellectual replenishment is something that keeps us mentally sharp. We love to read and have been trying to incorporate even more reading into our lives. We always ask ourselves after consuming content on things like Netflix, do we feel better about ourselves, and did we just learn something from what we just watched? The funny thing is, after reading, we always say that we feel better and that we learned something. Unfortunately, the same can't be said about binging Netflix. We also love to listen to podcasts on our drive days. They help keep us up to date on current topics, and they keep us inspired by listening to people who are doing incredible things.
Emotional replenishment is something that nurtures our soul. These things make us feel loved, cared for, and heard. And by feeling that way, it enables us to extend the same to other people in our lives. Examples for both of us include spending time with very close friends in which we can be vulnerable and let our guard down, serving with Nash, or mentoring an entrepreneur to help them succeed in business. Lastly, and one of the most important to us, is spiritual replenishment. These are things that connect us and root us to God. And if you don't consider yourself religious, that's okay. This area can look a little bit different for you, but the goal here is to simply humble yourself knowing that you're connected to something bigger than yourself. One of the best ways for us to feel this deep connection is to surround ourselves with creation. There's just something about being in nature and reflecting on how beautiful and spectacular it really is. And these are simple things, like listening to the birds in the morning, like watching farm animals do their morning routine, appreciating beautiful trees and the way the wind blows through them. As Christians, we also get deep replenishment with consistent quiet time in the morning, reading the Bible, and in conversation with the Lord through prayer.
With all that in mind, we knew that we were low on personal energy because of how fast the first 3 months of the year had gone by. So we were intentional about finding an RV park where we could recharge and get replenished. Before RV living, we would do this by getting out of Nashville and traveling to a more rural location to be surrounded more by nature than by people. As luck would have it, Central Florida has so many beautiful locations in which you can be in nature and out of the hustle and bustle. We were fortunate to find a very nice RV park just outside of Webster, Florida, that was right next to a beautiful farm. And since Nash loves watching cows, this was the perfect spot.
What an incredible time we had here at Oak Alley. Since this was virtually a brand new park, some of the key amenities were not quite finished, so we pretty much had the whole place to ourselves. It really felt like we were staying right on this beautiful farm. We can honestly say that we were able to focus on each of our 4 areas of our replenishment cycle. We were able to take very long walks, sit and watch the farm animals, celebrate Good Friday and Easter, finish a book that had been lingering on the to-read list, and camp with our old neighbors from Nashville, who recently moved to Jacksonville, and I'll actually be officiating their wedding in a couple of weeks. By being intentional about pursuing our replenishment cycle, we were able to fully recharge and spend quality time as a family. And a bonus was that we had some extra time to ourselves, and we were able to catch up on some work projects that had been lingering around for a little too long.
We want to leave you with this. Replenishment cycles are different for everyone. Things for us won't be the same for you, and that's the beauty of why it works, because it's personalized directly to you. So if you're feeling like we were, we encourage you to look into this concept and design one for yourself. We promise that it will be time very well spent.
We hope you enjoyed this video. We know it was a little bit different than our normal weekly episode, but we found it really important to pull you into part of our life and share a little bit more about who we are and show you a tool that we learned a few years ago that just drastically changed our life. So we're getting ready to leave the RV park that we're at, which is a sad day for sure. But it was a beautiful morning. You can see the sun still coming up. And we just wanted to say thank you for watching and thank you for supporting us along this journey.